Hello everyone. Um, we will have a more solid way to lead this in the future, but this is the session 0 for the Cryptid Creeks podcast. That is being made in tandem with the release of the Cryptid Creeks indie tabletop RPG. I'm super excited to be telling this story with my friends. I'm B. I am usually found in places like Parallel to Anywhere or Realm Jumper or the Wilderveer TTRPG, but I'm super happy to be the game master for this little run through of everything. But before we get into all of that, this first session is going to be a lot of town building and setup, introducing the characters and world that we'll be playing in. But before we do that, I should introduce my super cool friends who I'm going to be playing with. We cool with call order?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. I mentally prepared myself for call order.
Excellent. Thank you. Well then, take it away.
Hello, everybody. I'm Bro Dingles. That's Bro Dingles everywhere, including the the app formerly known as Twitter. I have hopped around various tabletop podcasts over time. I don't currently have a home, but if you look me up, you'll probably find where I've been. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Me.
Hello, I'm Burnt. I'm just an avid TTRPG player and writer, and I'm starting to get into voice acting. I don't have any socials, but right now, if you want to hear more of me, you can find me on Realm Jumper on YouTube.
Excellent.
Hello, I'm Juno. I am Krova most places or some variation thereof. Instagram is the best place to find me. Also involved in various TTRPG and other art things. But yeah, I'm very excited to be here.
Hi, I'm Meg. I have the long list resume out of everyone here. I am an author on the DMs Guild, and I have worked extensively with the Gauntlet, who are the creators of Brindlewood Bay and the Carve from Brindlewood system, which Cryptid Creeks is loosely based off of. I do a lot of writing and TTRPG work. I've been on a podcast or two, and it's very exciting to be here with all of you.
Yay!
Oh, also, I'm Meg, but on socials, I'm either Sunev or Sunevial, and it's never constant. I am very sorry. Good luck.
Hi, my name is Midnight Blue or Midnight. I am generally involved with both Parallel to Anywhere and Realm Jumper. I do some writing, some TTRPG stuff, and I do some voice acting as well on the side. You can find me most places as Midnight Blue. There might be a 7 or a 3 added on there. But yeah, the app formerly known as Twitter is probably the best place to get a hold of
me. Awesome. Well, I'm super happy to be running for you all. With that said, we should get right into it. So at the start of the game, there's a couple of usual session 0 things that if you're playing this at home, you'd be, the safety tools part, and we're doing that off screen. But the first thing that is something we're going to show is introducing just sort of the general vibe of the place that we are playing in. The area of Clawfoot Creek. And the game gives you a few places, but then lets you sort of build together. And I think I'm going to kind of lead in a little and then let you all talk about the parts that you put into your town. Because in making your town, there is the town of Stonewater to the north, and the Bulrush Island occupying the broadest part of the river. You all, however, live to the southern town, And outside of the things that are always in the southern town, your clubhouse, a harbor, a diner, a library, a school, police station, and town hall, there are other landmarks that you all are filling in. And I think the first thing to do is let you all talk about the landmarks you all made for your town, and also what we kind of came up with for a name. I think we'll just do the same order again.
We're just gonna go in the same order.
Yeah, this is just
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I added a retro arcade. Basically one of those more wooden structures. It has older cabinets in it. Some of them like from the original time when they were made. Some of them refurbished. There's probably also like a ping pong table and a pool table in there. This is that kind of thing. They sell big slices of pizza, and you can get like a really cheap soda drink in there. It's a nice place to just, hang out, and also some people get really competitive on the DDR machines.
good.
Absolutely. You
Some
gotta get
people-
that high score.
The place that I added to the town was adding in a campgrounds. I think it's a nice little place to spend some more time in more naturey nature than the actual small town. But also it's a good place for the tourists that come in every year. Probably hold summer camps and things like that there.
Yeah, perfect.
Yes, I added in, not really in the town, but outskirts, probably across the river in that sort of wooden section, is an old abandoned, less so abandoned and more fell out of use, but an old lumber mill that helped sort of found the town, that isn't really used as much nowadays as the decades have gone by. But the kids and teens in town sure do think that's a fun place to sneak off and go do things they're not supposed to. Is it dangerous? Probably, but they're kids and aren't really thinking. Yeah, it's also probably haunted.
Perfect.
I added in a little clinic. It's pretty much the only place you can go to get any kind of medical attention in the surrounding area. It's run by two doctors. They're both married, and they run the practice day in, day out, not really taking very many breaks, but they can't really take very many breaks because, I mean, if they're the only doctor in the area, you kind of have to keep things going as much as you can.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The thing I added to the town is the only non-chain coffee shop. It is run by people who live in the town full year, because this is one of those seasonal towns that they make all their money during the 3 summer months when all the tourists come, and the rest of the year they're serving coffee to only the locals. And yeah, you can get a nice latte in the morning and stuff like that. They decry Starbucks. Loudly.
Amazing. Yeah, and from those things, we kind of extrapolated the idea that this town is a bit of a tourist spot in the summer months, and maybe a little towards like the end of summer as well, because it's a hotbed for the paranormal interested and things of that nature. But the town is very adapted to a influx in the summer months, and then being back to small town living for the rest of the year. And the River Scouts is sort of one of the like things kids and teens at this age can do, and that kind of inflates their numbers because there isn't a lot else to do, so that kind of like brings that connection to the River Scouts with the rest of the town. Is just sort of one of those programs that exists, and for small town people there isn't much to do outside of necessities. So yeah. And also as mentioned, one of the things that is always in your town is your clubhouse. And we kind of together came up with the idea that the clubhouse is an abandoned building outside of town, burned down under mysterious circumstances. While it's not officially on any sort of like paranormal tours or anything that go on in the town, some people will head on over in there, but the people of the town know that that's basically your clubhouse and kind of treat it as such. They tend to not touch it. Whoever owned the property has let it remain burned down under mysterious circumstances for so many years that, like, you know, clearly they don't care, so why should the townsfolk, you know? And you all kind of have carved that place out to be your own. Hey, Mid, would you be cool doing reverse call order this time? just to change it up on people? Cool.
I guess I'm starting. Okay.
Yeah.
So, as we kind of established, there's, rumors that the town is haunted, and that's how they kind of get some of their tourism. So sometimes people decide, oh, there's a spooky abandoned building outside of town. It's been burnt down by mysterious circumstances. Oh, we better go check it out. And because we're a bunch of little shit kids, to keep people away from the house, we of course have to scare them. So I think our river scouts have like swapped stories of the times that they really gave a tourist a good old scare and got them to stay away from the clubhouse. But one of my characters, Alyssa's, is that she was like rattling the windows and stuff and like making a lot of noise. And then, it's kind of scary. And then all of a sudden the window snapped shut and a bunch of branches from a tree like outside fell. Just absolutely almost on this tourist and, booking it back to town. Oh my gosh, I found the ghost. And everyone was like, oh, good job, Alyssa. High five. And Alyssa went, yeah, it was definitely me. Maybe it was the wind. Maybe I was just rattling the window really hard and it closed and then the branches were a complete coincidence. So that's kind of one of her memories of the clubhouse is something a little interesting happening while she was trying to, pretend to be something supernatural.
That's fun. Meg.
Yeah, I guess that's me. And so, we've talked about how, this is a bit of a tourist town. It's full of a bunch of really big, fancy cabins that are really only lived in for, maybe 4 months out of the year if they're lucky. Maybe a little bit more, in, the winter time when people want to come ski. Sometimes they get occupied. For the most part, it's a bunch of relatively wealthy, empty cabins. And the clubhouse manor is one of them. It was owned by somebody who was much, much richer than anybody who lives in town here typically is. And when it burned down, it was seen as kind of a little bit of like a tragedy of like, oh, it was such a nice place to go. All those nice things, they all burned down to the ground. And so now it's kind of, mostly a husk of what it used to be. It rains in all the time. Everything's kind of rotted away and been replaced as the years have gone on. But my character, Malie, she swears that one night as she was, opening up the door and going up to the kind of burnt out roof, that some moonlight filtered in through one of the windows. And for a split second, as the moonlight hit the ground, she could see the manor as it kind of used to be, with all the nice wallpaper and all of the antler fixtures and all of the, cabin slogans that were on the walls. And she's never seen it since.
I like that a lot. It's a really cool memory to have there. Gina.
Yeah, I'll go next. This requires a bit of context about my character first. His name is Parker. He's a bit of a jock, and for many, many years of his early teens, was considered one of the cool kids TM. And he would go to all of the, block parties and things that all of the cheerleaders hosted and whatnot. But one year just before school was about to start, he was informed that his family would be moving to the big city, and he did so, and he came with them, and he found that he did not like it very much, and that he was actually not a cool kid by big city standards. But on the night before they were set to move, there was a huge party that was about to be hosted at the sawmill. But Parker decided to spend that final night in the clubhouse with his weird supernatural ghost friends instead, because they seemed to be the only ones to really get him on a personal level.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Burnt.
That's me.
Yes.
My boy Flint. I think that one of his core memories of the clubhouse was probably the first time that it was found, at least by the kids. Everyone kind of knows that it's out there, but nobody had really made the effort to go to it. And the thing about Flint is that he really likes being in nature, so he would have been out taking his sibling on a walk, just kind of out of town, just meandering. Heard reports of like, okay, it's going to storm later, made the appropriate time, and, head out. I was like, okay, we'll get back at this time. It'll be all good. We'll get dinner, stuff like that. But heading out of town, the sky started to darken, and he would have heard rumbling and thought, well, that's earlier than expected. And the two of them would have had to have taken shelter, and kind of in the panic run of, okay, we need to get back to town, I think that running through the woods would have ended up seeing just kind of the burnt out shack and gone, okay, that's good enough, we're getting in.
It's really good. And that's sort of how the group found this place in the first, really attach themselves to this spot, right?
Yeah, because, once you find an abandoned place and you got nothing better to do, what are you going to do except go check it out, right?
Yeah, no. Perfect. Bro.
Hello. So here's the thing about my character, Kaya. She really likes bugs. She just really she likes the creepy crawly. She likes the looking at the taxonomy, the anatomy, the et cetera, et cetera. She just likes being around nature, being around what is natural, flora, fauna, et cetera, et cetera. So of course when you're a kid, you just kind of bring things home. You just decide to bring some things home with you. And home, to a certain degree, is the clubhouse. And what she brought back was a big old batch of crickets that she found. And she finds this batch of crickets, and she walks in, and she's just like, hey, honey, I'm home. And then she trips, and this box of crickets goes everywhere. And they're just hopping around. She catches what she can. But the thing is, like, to this very day, you can just hear crickets. Like, in the most random spots. You can just like, and sometimes they have like the best comedic timing. It's like someone says like the worst joke, and then all of a sudden you hear chirp chirp.
We thought it was haunted by ghosts. No, it's haunted by crickets.
Crickets with the best sense of comedic timing you've ever seen.
I love that. And while you guys kind of, in giving those memories, did touch on your characters a bit, I think now's a really good time to, like, some of you already did, but, like, kind of give the name a general overview of what the character's sort of vibe is, and while not fully going into like the minutia of it, talking about what playbook you chose and like how that kind of influences the character and what the vibes of that playbook are. We'll start again with Midnight.
Okay. So I am playing Alyssa. And she is the class of the Negotiator. So the Negotiator is a good term for it would be the party face. They're pretty supposed to be charismatic. And the way that Alyssa is charismatic is not that she's particularly like, good at talking or anything like that. But what she is good at doing is sucking up to parents. And generally having the reputation of being the good kid, TM, that would never lie and always does the right thing, TM. So people like genuinely trust her. Like if she were to tell an adult that, oh yeah, no, we're just going over here to study, smiles. They'd be like, oh yes, you have a good time, Alyssa. You go study. That's definitely what you're doing. Alyssa, I guess her physical description is. She's got long red hair. She has round glasses, and she's kind of round and soft, little chubby. She's very much that kind of like I'm very innocent and sweet. Is she actually doing bad things when she should be doing, studying? Who knows? Not the adults.
Fun. Meg?
Yeah, so in complete opposite to what Midnight's playing, I'm playing the Stowaway, which is you're the kid that likes to not be noticed and then get in so much trouble in the process. Essentially, the Stowaway is very good at blending in, not really being noticed, but also very good at just being a little sneaky. A lot of it sneaky, and getting into places you definitely shouldn't be. And so my character, Malie, well, you think, how does a kid kind of end up like that? And it kind of, for Malie, comes from the fact that she's a latchkey kid. Her parents actually work at that clinic that I described. Both of them are immigrants. They came to this little town to work as doctors because they basically were told, hey, if you come to this foreign country and work in this small rural town as a doctor because no one wants to work as a small-time doctor in this small town in the middle of nowhere, then all of your loans will be forgiven. And so Malie has spent most of her childhood effectively kind of alone in the house. And eventually she got to the point where she didn't want to be alone in the house. So she started getting into trouble. Like throwing rocks at cars. Throwing rocks at cop cars. And eventually it got to the point where she kind of needed a bit of a hobby because her parents realized she was getting really bored. So she ended up joining the River Scouts as you need to do something with your life. And then that turned into, breaking into an abandoned house and scaring tourists by pretending to be a ghost at midnight. So, task failed successfully?
Yeah, we could go with that.
For physical description, Malie is, she's fairly short, has dark brown hair, dark brown eyes. I'm assuming that we're in some sort of fantasy America vibe, so she is effectively Thai American. She typically wears, fairly practical clothes, either a hoodie and jeans or like khaki shorts and just whatever graphic tee she could pull out of the closet. Always has her hair up in a bun.
Nice. Awesome. Juno.
Yes, my character is Parker, and I am playing the skipper role. They are they're basically your stereotypical jock, sort of archetype, very physically adept and easier to remain calm under pressure. But the skipper is also kind of takes the leader role of the group. At this point in time, it's debatable whether Parker lives up to that, but he's trying. And I'm sure as the adventure goes on, because he is, or we'll see how that goes. Because although he is quite large and tall, he has a lot more anxiety than you would first think about looking at him. And he's not the best in social situations, particularly with people who he's not familiar with. As far as a more physical description, he's got tannish skin, very dirty brown hair, or dirty blonde hair that turns brown in some spaces. He's got green eyes and wears very, like, muddy work boots and a hand-me-down military camo jacket that is a little bit too big for him, but he likes it anyway. And yeah, he's a little bit scruffy, and despite his large size and demeanor, a little bit soft around the edges.
Nice. I like that a lot. Burn.
My boy Flint is going to be the medic of our party. The medic basically plays as the person who you can expect to take care of you. Whether that is physically, so you got an injury and you need somebody to do first aid on you, or somebody that you feel comfortable talking to whenever you have a problem. I think that Flint's going to fit the bill as he is literally an older brother type figure. I think he's going to be pretty chill and someone that's easy to talk to. The medic class is also the one focused on kind of being knowledgeable about your subject, and I think that as being someone who's kind of more in tune with nature, he'll play into that pretty well. He very much likes to spend his time outdoors, so getting a scrape here and there is it's nothing new.
I like that a lot.
I think for a more physical description, he's probably lean, but not really like built or anything like that. I think he's probably on the taller end, and I think he's going to have probably short, light black hair and some brown eyes, is what I'm thinking is the deal.
Yeah, awesome. And bro.
My character Kaya we're doing the Conduit playbook. A lot more attuned to the supernatural element of things and dealing more with the ecological stuff going on. Basically, like the spirituality is not exactly the right word, but you know what I mean by that level of things. She comes from a blended family, has a little brother that didn't bond initially, but then they slowly were just like, oh, we're into the same weird stuff, and then that kind of hit off, and they get along well now, but
Yeah.
it's still kind of like a getting used to it kind of thing. So she spends her time with her friends in the clubhouse. More of a level-headed kind of character. Chill, maybe a little too chill. Probably would do something slightly insane if you gave her the opportunity, but it would be such an understated insane. It's very I guess that's the way you think about it, is she's very what how does one describe somebody who hears, oh, there's well, I can't say a scarab in your mailbox, because she'd be excited about that. It's anyway.
No, she's very chill in the face of things that people would normally not be chill about.
Thank you. I'm having a moment where I'm just I'm remembering how to speak.
No, I get you.
As for physical description, she dark skin, dark skin, long black hair, darker colored eyes, a baseball cap on her that has some leaves and flowers embedded into it. Simultaneously wearing a crop top sweater, which I know some people are like, why would you wear a crop top and a sweater at the same time? And I'm just kind of like, because it's aesthetic and because you can take one off.
Yeah.
It's also, you got your jean shorts, things that you can move around in, things that are very versatile yet still stylish. Yeah, the sneakers for running around, they're kind of beat up at this point, but what are you gonna do? You use them a lot.
Yeah, especially in a town like this where almost everything is outside.
Especially in a town like this.
Perfect.
But yeah.
Awesome. I really like that. I'm really endeared to these kids already.
Yeah, they're good kids.
They're very good. Well,
my
debatable.
Sometimes my kid's a good kid. Sometimes she's throwing rocks at people.
They are good
Theory,
of
she's a
quality,
good
not
kid.
morality.
Yeah, exactly.
Good of quality, not morality. The best kind of quality.
Exactly.
Well, the tie into that was also so that way I can kind of lead into this next thing, which is you've all, besides joining the River Scouts, which again, like we kind of have established, is sort of the thing kids do here. You kind of all found your own hobbies, and despite having those be different for each of you, you still have the ability to talk with each other about them, but they're not super tied to River Scouting necessarily. So, bro, do you want to go down the hobby list? do you have an idea?
No, I have an idea. What do you think she's been doing? I've said it, like she really likes hunting bug, man. That's just her thing, man.
She likes bugs.
She likes bugs, man. That's her thing. That is her interest. That is her steez. That's what she does.
Excellent. Perfect. I love it. And there's probably like a bunch of unique bugs here too. Like a lot of
exactly
weird bugs that definitely aren't in any of your books. Weird.
Love it. I love it a lot.
All right. Flint's hobby is hiking, or generally exploring, but basically when you live in a small town and you are there for years and you don't really like the town so much, you kind of leave. So when there is a vast untamed wilderness out there, why not go take a look-see and find out what's lurking?
Good. It's awesome. That works out really well. Juno.
Yeah, he kind of has two sides of himself. He is very much, as we've stated, he's a jock. He's on the football team. Very stereotypical. And that's probably his hobby as far as these guys are concerned. But secretly, he does genuinely find it really interesting. He's very into sort of ghost stories and cryptid hunters and things like that. Although he would never admit to it in public, he is genuinely very interested in it. And that's probably part of the reason why he sneaks off to the clubhouse and the sawmill just to see if any of the, hauntings are actually true. Or if they're just, things that the tourists say to get a little extra buck. But yeah, that's Parker's deal.
I could also totally believe that maybe Parker believes maybe more than others, both Millie and Alyssa's stories about.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, I don't think he's encountered any, besides the ones we all have, any particular supernatural influence himself, but he really wants to believe that it's real.
I like that a lot. Meg.
I think Malie, besides, her general hobbies of throwing rocks at people and occasionally breaking into houses, abandoned houses. She never breaks into anything, that's occupied. But, if it's not been really touched for a few years, she'll go break in. That's not really her hobby, though. When she's behaving, I think Malie really likes playing the piano. She's kind of done it since she was a little kid. And yeah, it was originally like, oh yeah, 5 years old, you're gonna go play the piano, and you're gonna do something with your life a little bit. But I think she genuinely does like making music. It's something she can do when she's alone, and she likes the rhythm of it, I think. And it kind of keeps her hands and her brain busy, so it's good for her when she remembers to do it.
I like that a lot. And maybe you have there's probably a piano at the house, and you, as far as your parents know, you've practiced every day of your life.
Mm-hmm. I think there's probably also a piano, a really, really banged up piano that the kids have dragged into the clubhouse because they
more of a keyboard than a proper piano.
Yeah, and they force Malie to play it, and it's awful and it's not tuned, but it helps bring the spooky vibes sometimes.
It's simultaneously the spooky vibes, and then when they're alone, it's just like da 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 da.
Oh my god!
Exactly.
Midnight.
So I've said Alyssa was pretty bookish. That's just because she really likes reading. Her hobbies reading and studying. I think she really likes learning new things, especially. She's always got one of those trivia books where it's just a whole bunch of random facts. That's kind of what she likes to do. Is read those.
Is Alyssa the kid who actually reads almanacs?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. She's hyper focuses on things. 1 year it's dinosaurs, next year it's Greek mythology, next year it's I don't know, something else. She gets to the little focuses.
You got
perhaps supernatural activity.
True.
You got the Book of World Records and a place of high esteem.
Yeah, one of those books of world records, or just one of those books are just here's a random fact about every country, and then one of those kind of books.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
But before we step forward, can I make an amendment, because I just remembered something from when we talked before starting recording. Can I add on that Kaya is the person that's really competitive about DDR at the archives?
Yeah. Amazing.
She's just no, step back, casuals. While she's still being very casual while playing.
Competitive DDR. Perfect.
I'm sure we've gotten to arguments about it.
Oh, absolutely.
I feel
that's a dumb song.
I feel like Malie has come close, but has never beaten, and it infuriates her to no end.
And Kaya's just good game.
You cheated. I don't know how you cheated, but you cheated.
If you want to believe that, you can believe that.
They are forming. Okay. I love that. I love the competitive DDR. Do you think they probably can't get a DDR machine in the clubhouse. That's unreasonable. But do you think they have
they might have one of the matte ones though?
Yeah.
You
just imagine they have a Wii in there and it's just got one of those matte pads.
Yeah.
Yes. I had that when I was a kid.
Guys, this thing is so unresponsive.
Okay. Yeah, no. Here's the real question: how good is Parker at DDR?
Ooh.
He thinks he's better than he actually is, but in comparison to the two of you, he walks up all confident, no, I can totally beat you at DDR, and then he can't do it. Good. You're too good. You're too nimble.
Alyssa like tries to do DDR, and like there's like 2 songs she's like really good at, but like she's like not the running.
What about Flintbert?
I think he is not good at dancing, but he has a good time.
I like that.
And
Like,
and really, that's what matters at the end of the day, right?
Right, exactly.
as long as we're having fun.
God, we are still. Looks at time. We have time for a dumb thing.
Ooh, dumb thing.
Yeah,
Hooray.
because it looks like we kind of like hit a lot of the major points. We talked about the main vibes of the playbooks. We talked about the town and the map and everything. And I should also mention that there is one other person in town of like not even in town, off the way of town of interest to you all, which is Aunt Hilda, who lives on the Bulrush Island. The scouts that you and especially you all have grown up listening to outlandish stories of before she left the mainland, having had, in her own words, enough of people.
For her.
And she talks about how she destroyed the wares of someone called the Peddler back in 1962, and she has all these stories about 1962, and they're good stories, but the realism of them is to be seen.
1962. That's like so long ago. It's like half a century.
It's so long.
There's
Like-
no
like
way
you think
that I'll perfectly remember.
She's older than our parents. That happened forever ago.
Oh, ancient. It was the dinosaurs, and then it was Aunt Hilda.
I think you got it the other way around. It was Aunt Hilda, then the dinosaur.
Can't believe Aunt Hilda is what took out the dinosaurs.
True.
She got
Really?
tired of them, and then instead of reclusing herself, she took them out.
She, in fact, commanded the asteroid to hit. You walk
So mean. This is probably a real conversation that has happened.
Oh,
with
absolutely.
Absolutely.
So in our lore, Aunt Hilda is a wizard. No, I'm kidding.
As far as these teens are concerned, yes.
Probably,
You just
yeah.
catch a 9th level like meteor shower or whatever the fuck that's.
Okay, well now you're willing TTRPGception into this. But before we get to like the last real question, which is the thing that sort of kickstarts this hunt for a curse.
Did we actually name the town?
Did we name the town?
I
That's
don't
a
think
good
we
think we
introduced the
did.
name.
No, I don't think we
named
did.
the town.
Let's do that.
We're
We're
so
so good
good
at
at
this.
We're so good at. I mean, now we have like
Professional.
we have such valid vibes for the town. Now we can.
Yeah, we
Ew.
do.
Yeah.
Who wants to do it?
Silence.
I
Utter silence.
so we had like a couple things get thrown around. I did while we were talking about it. I was like, well, we have the old lumber mill, which probably is like what brought this forward. Which brought my brain to like types of trees or types of wood.
Yeah.
So unfortunately my brain said Cedar Rapids, and I was like, wait, we can't do that.
I also thought that, and I was like, we can't do it.
Theater raft? Oh god.
We
Yeah.
can't do Cedar Rapids.
Let's do Spruce Rapids instead.
Bruce?
I was actually
Actually-
thinking Sycamore
actually-
because it has a really good cadence.
Oh, Sycamore
Ooh.
sounds better.
I was thinking Pine, but both work.
Yes,
Ooh,
because
Like
gravity.
Pine Rapids. Oh no, help.
Yeah.
No, Sycamore is good.
Honestly-
It's a good tree.
Yeah, Sycamore.
Mhm.
I like Sycamore. That's really nice. That's fun.
Sycamore Rapids has a really good cadence. Yeah.
Sounds
Mhm.
good.
It has a musicality to it.
Yeah. 2, 3, 1, 2. Yeah, I like it. Okay. Yeah, cool. We have a name for the town. And so again, checks our funky little clock. We have about 15 minutes. So before we get into like the last question, I want to invoke game master privilege and throw a thing, which is we talked about like memories and like like the bonding moments you all had in the clubhouse. On a little more surface level, because this is an abandoned building that you are all like refurbishing to be your clubhouse. What do you think is like one of the amenities, like something that you brought to the clubhouse that is now like a staple? Like
You mean besides
talked,
the Wii and the DDR mat and
the
keyboard?
The Wii and the DDR mat is exactly what brought this forward in my head. It was like, okay, who brought the Wii? I want to know who brought the Wii, and I want to know what else people brought to like make this a home, if you will.
I think Malie, because both of her parents are doctors, and so she has a little bit more cash to kind of throw around for various things. Some of which her parents buy her to try and keep her from getting bored, to mixed success. I think that the clubhouse has like a foosball table.
Oh,
that
fun.
that Malie's parents tried to buy her and then realized that you kind of need multiple people in the house to play foosball with.
Oh no!
Oh god.
So effectively at some point she enlisted Parker and the two of them dragged the foosball table out into the woods. And now it just lives at the clubhouse. And now it actually gets used.
I like that. And the parents just I'm not even gonna ask where the foosball table went.
Just disappeared one day.
It's being used. That is what Malie has told her parents. It's being used.
How much did you sell it for?
Her response in my head is just the widest grin and said for weed. It was not for weed. Malie has never smoked in her entire life.
Is that a weed?
I think Parker, he when his parents and stuff were moving out, they had to clear out a bunch of stuff. And so I think he managed to convince them to let him have the massive couches from the basement that he dragged through the town, much like the foosball table. And now we have a quality living room set up of some well-loved, very soft, cushiony couches.
They're only a little nasty.
Only a little bit since they've been outside in the front down house, but they're still very soft.
Look, you just gotta not think about what could be laying on the couch when you're gone. You gotta not think about
It's better than looking on the ground. So
Probably some crickets.
Probably some crickets.
Don't worry, we'll collect them.
Oh, don't worry. The crickets will be found. There will just be more crickets later.
Cricket.
Oh man, it's hard for me to think of something like to be used that Flint would bring, because this boy only offers me practical thoughts or like collections of things. So it's either like it's either like, okay guys, how are you going to have a Wii in the abandoned house? Let me get the freaking generator.
Okay, but like I've been sitting here this entire time like someone has to bring a generator.
Or it's stuff like, like one of those little campfire like cooking kits kind of deal. Stuff like that. So there's the practical stuff, and then there's the thought of like, okay, maybe we have like arrowheads or like fossils and stuff like that. You can't really do anything with them, but they're nice.
Yeah, they're cool.
Honestly, the idea of Flint just being like, "Hey guys, I found a generator. Where the hell did you get that?" It's really funny to me.
I think I feel like Flint. You know how they have there are magazines for all sorts of things, but they have the like outdoor living magazines. I feel like that's like a thing you have perused.
Probably. Oh, I got one actually. For funsies amenities, I think he has a dartboard for you. He's not good at it, but he enjoys it.
Good. That's real fun.
He
He
very
saw
much
Malie throwing
enjoys.
rocks and was like, okay, you need a better outlet for throwing things here.
I think he enjoys the chaos of watching people throw things across the room.
Is it really a clubhouse if there's no dartboard?
Exactly.
I guess it's connected to what Alyssa brings. I think Alyssa brings like a bunch of like old board games, like like the version of Risk in which like the boxes falling apart. They got the old like Monopoly and the old like Payday and Life and stuff like that. I don't know how often they're used, but like they're all like sitting nicely in their own little boxes on like one of the shelves in the old house.
Because you were the one who invoked TTRPGception. I have to ask if you brought like the red box.
We know the answer is yes.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Alyssa would unfortunately play TTRPGs. This is unfortunately her reflection. I don't know if any of the rest of them have. She's probably going like, "Hey, jingle, 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 dice, jingle, jingle, jingle,
Jingle, jingle. Look at these old minis I have.
You were my dad's. Jingle, jingle, jingle."
For the sake of it, I'm imagining that it's like you probably don't have any of the newer things. It's like the hand-me-downs from, like you said, like from your dad. So it's like you probably like like I said, like the red box, like AD&D.
Yeah, the old shit.
Yeah,
we're retro gamers over here.
I know the vibe. The vibe is like you take pieces from other games to like make your maps and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, no, like. One of the most beloved minifigures. It belongs to like one of like a party NPC is like a half-eaten Lego figure. It's been chewed on by a dog.
The Monopoly thimble is somebody's PC.
This is my character Thimble.
God,
it is a good name.
It is
actually.
A good name.
True.
I'm imagining that like because they have this hodgepodge of like a game that like to a certain degree they've kind of made up their own rules and they have their own like way to pretend their way to like role play and stuff. So it's like, are we playing this by the book? No, we're not playing this as written. We made our own thing.
They've accidentally a TTRPG.
They accidentally a TTRPG system.
It's like, look, you bring out the Candyland dice only during.
The rules are made exclusively to deal with people who are causing shenanigans.
Yeah. Oh my god, Malie is 100% the like. I take that. You don't even know what it is. I take it.
Correct. No, she's absolute. Malie has gone through about 6 different characters because things keep blowing up in her face, and she does not learn.
She was upset the once, and then using the little Flint's built-in little fire kit to burn the character sheet has become a Malie tradition. Once they die, the Viking funeral.
It's incredibly dramatic and entertaining every time.
That's hilarious.
What does Kaya? What does Kaya bring?
Oh, Kaya brings a mini fridge because she's the snack friend, and she's going to make sure it's consistently stocked. Like every time she comes in, she like every time they're going to meet up, it's like, oh, Kaya's late again. Why is she? Well, we know why she's late. 1, she got distracted, and 2, she's going to apologize with snacks. So,
that generator's getting so much use.
It's getting so much use. The most use.
This poor generator is dying.
Listen,
oh my god.
You give Flint more reason to go run around in the woods. It's a wood burning generator or something like that.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh my god.
It might have been maybe the way that maybe it fell into your hands if you like spend time in the campgrounds and hiking a lot. Maybe it was like, gonna be kind of tossed for a newer model, and so you were like, no, I'll take it. You know what I mean?
Oh, this one might blow up? Yeah, it's fine.
We're gonna use the
house already burned down once. It's fine.
It hasn't blown up yet, so that's good enough for me.
Malie occasionally feels like when like propane tanks for grills like get really down to the pretty low spot.
Yeah.
Sometimes she just takes it from her backyard. He's like, hey guys, got some, and no one questions it.
We got some juice.
That's the DDR nights.
Oh my god.
It's like
Absolute
like-
light show.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
It's like they have the electrical stuff, but they try to be like semi-responsible with it. It's just like, oh, I don't want to flip anything off, so it's kind of like, okay, who turned on the Wii? I am trying.
Dinner here.
I'm trying to keep the soda cold.
I'm trying to keep the soda cold, but I wanted to charge my phone. Charge your phone at home.
You can play DDR, but that means you're not going to have cold soda, so that's the trade-off you have to make for yourself.
Oh no, then you have warm soda after DDR.
Oh.
Awful.
Everything can't be perfect. I'm pretty sure they also have like an ice chest or something. So
Yeah.
Oh, a
yeah.
cooler's easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, cooler.
God. The other thing that's in my head is just like, they have a Wii, and it's one of those things where it's like, at some point, like, we could probably get, like, other games than DDR. It's just like, no.
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 Right.
That means you have to find controllers, and then you have to find games that support the controllers, and
I just imagine them playing Wii bowling though.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that comes with. That's fine.
Yeah.
Nice throw.
Oh, no.
Someone
They
has
only have
Wii
Wii
bowling.
DDR.
Someone has Wii bowlinged the controller like out the
Oh,
window.
I was
It was
just
Parker.
thinking
It was
about
Parker,
that.
absolutely.
Oh.
Just saying they're like, well, window was already broken, so
Yeah,
If the controller's fine, then no harm, no foul. I guess
exactly.
hmm
there's probably like a secondhand store where there's like they just have to walk in like, don't ask questions, please fix this Wiimote.
covered in mud.
Yeah, don't ask questions. You are paid to repair, not ask questions.
Margaret, shh, Margaret, listen. Don't ask it, Margaret. I said don't ask questions.
I love this so much. And we are about to hit time, so I will lead us into the final thing. So, the adventure begins proper with one day you all hanging out in the clubhouse when this strange entity that the game dubs the Watcher appears in the clubhouse. And we all have ideas on what we want our Watcher to look like, because this is going to be a campaign-long entity that's going to be aiding your, your adventures throughout Clawfoot Creek, and guiding you towards solving some bigger mystery. So, the last thing I wanted to really establish with you all is, what's our Watcher look like? So, one last time, we'll start with Midnight.
Okay. So this, from looking at the vibes of the thing, this thing is kind of like a cryptid, and
It is.
well, I have a lot of love in my heart for all the like the normal cryptids, like the Mothman and the Bigfoot and the Yogo Pogo and everything like that. My favorite cryptids are bunnies. So this thing looks like a bunny.
Big, so it's a big bunny, alright? So it's
Big
starting
bunny. It's a big bunny.
bunny.
And I would in fact say yes, there is a cryptid in these creeks.
Oh my
We can go
god!
home. We did it. We can go home.
We did it.
we did it, go.
But yes, so
Got
big
there.
bunny.
Roll credits.
Meg.
Yeah, so I think, with what we've established about this town of, like, how there's lots of ghost stories and lots of, weird supernatural things going on, especially, with the fact that, we are, our river scouts like to scare away people from the house by pretending to be ghosts. I think the Watcher just phases up through the floor. And it's not, like, completely incorporeal. Like, it can, have solid mass, but it can just phase through walls and floors and ceilings.
Oh.
I love that.
Disappear and fly.
Maybe, maybe you can find the crickets in the couch cushions.
Yeah,
Please,
you-
somebody find the crickets.
Oh god.
Good.
Yeah, it's me. I had to. This is a big bunny, but it also has big bird wings on its back that are sort of not really befitting of how cute the rest of it is. Big and spooky and looming. But then it can fold them up and have it be just more normal looking wings, but they can when they're out, they are sort of made of shadows. So it's a spooky ghost bunny.
Love it. And it's just like, I'm imagining these are like corvid wings.
Yeah, it's me.
Yeah.
I have to. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Oh, you know what's
Wow,
fun? that
Krova,
didn't
I
even
never
occur?
would have guessed.
Wow.
No.
You know what's fun that just occurred to me?
Mhm.
We could go back and forth between like four-legged and then like bipedal.
Oh,
like
yeah.
two.
On two legs.
Ooh.
Eh. My idea, in keeping in the essence of funky little spooky bits, I think having kind of like, not necessarily ghost lights, but kind of like some kind of like funky lighting feature on our friendly cryptid would be fun. Whether that's bioluminescence or if it's more of a like supernatural thing, I think that would be fun.
That's
I
really cool.
was imagining just like orbs of light following it around, but I'm obsessed with
Oh,
bioluminescence
I-
actually.
Any of the above can be.
Mhm.
Hey, why not both?
That's true.
I have an idea. What if it has like spots on its back that glow, but then also kind of like fold out of out of the creature and float out around it?
Yeah, I kind of
Ooh.
like that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Alright. Bro.
So I had the idea, and I'm kind of moving it around in my brain right now. I had the idea of compound moth-like eyes, but now I'm kind of imagining that it has the regular bunny eyes that are compound, but then like 2 or 3 smaller eyes under the regular bunny
Oh, cool.
eyes.
Ooh. Extra.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's very
Mhm.
fun. I love him.
He's such a funky little guy.
He's so round and
He's a
soft.
fluffy little guy.
He's so round and soft and vaguely haunted.
Yes.
Only vaguely.
They are very fluffy and only somewhat suspicious. Only a little bit ominous.
Yeah. It's a funky little omen.
You're a funky little omen. Of what? Of death? I don't
It's
know.
your new code.
Oh,
Don't
no,
worry
You're
about
a
it.
funky little omen.
Excellent. I love this watcher so much. And with that, we've hit the hour, and I think this is a really good stopping point. We've established a lot more about the characters. We've built out like a lot of the town and set up your guys' playbooks. I'm really excited to get the adventure going when we get to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yay.
Excellent.
Yeah, me
I'm
too.
looking forward to seeing how all these characters are going to be when we actually get to play them.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I can see so many ways that like all of our kids can intersect already.
So
It's
many
so
shenanigans.
I'm gonna have my head in my hands most of this time, aren't I?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yes.
B, you've played with me before.
I
You know
know.
what happens.
Oh no.
Yeah. All right. Well, with that, I think this is the best time to sign off. I'm super excited, and I hope you all are too. I got no better ideas on how to sign this off. So, bye everyone.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.